Boom, 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 boom. I'm Peter Mokri, a Dallas-based DP and Gaffer, and in today's video, we're talking about big booms, little booms, this boom, that boom, whichever boom is necessary for your next production and how to set it up. Let's get into it. This is a baby boom. Why is it called a baby boom? Because it has a baby pin receiver, which goes onto a baby pin stand, just like this. Why would you use a baby stand for a boom? Well, you want to use a baby stand over a C stand because a C stand has a lot smaller spread on the legs. It does come with its own boom called a gobo arm or grip arm. It is also set up for a baby pin, but it is not as stable because of the spread of the legs being a lot smaller. So it is not good for booming stuff out very far. But if you stay within the legs, it does a really great job. Whether you're setting up a small boom or a big boom, the same concepts apply. And one of the major ones is balance, keeping things balanced. Imagine this as a seesaw. You want to have equal weight on each side. You don't want to have a fat kid on one side and a skinny kid on the other side, or it's going to do this. So how can you fix that? Well, usually you'll grab a shot bag or a sandbag and counter the weight of your light. Let's grab the Godox M300R and attach it to this side. It does use a baby pin, which is perfect. Now, some people may want to boom out these big old lights on these booms. You can't do that. Stay within the safety ratings of your boom, but also consider your overall weight for your stand, because your stand may not be able to handle that 20-pound shot bag plus your light plus the boom. It may be overloaded. So right now, does it look like we're level? Does it look like we're stable? Let's take a look. I'm gonna knock the, oh, that went too quick. Okay, so we have more weight on this side. There's the fat kid. Let's go ahead and move this to the other end. Oh my gosh, it's ready to go. All right, so this should be good, right? Oh, no, it's not doing it. So we need to extend this out a little bit more. So I'm gonna extend it out to here and let's see if we find that sweet spot. Oh, it's getting there, it's getting there. So what I like to do is I like to start moving this portion of the boom. And what it is this whole thing slides, and this can get me into the sweet spot of being safe. Now, I also need to consider how far out I wanna go before I do that to make sure I get the reach I need and then have enough room to balance out. Now that is looking pretty good right there. I'm liking that. So that's pretty balanced. So now when I lock this loose, it pretty much stays where it needs to go. There we go. Great. If you're gonna favor a side, I would always favor letting it lean away from talent or whatever it's overhead on, but you just wanna make sure it's balanced overall. So we have it balanced. What else can we do to be safe? Well, we could apply something like this, a ratchet strap, but you wanna make sure before you apply it, you do a couple things. First off, you wanna make sure you're nice and safe. So we have the light over here, and I'm going to attach a safety cable, a small rig clamp. I'm gonna clamp it on, and then I will loop it over to the light itself and make sure we're nice and safe. So if anything happens, this thing will catch itself. Next thing you wanna do is you wanna bring that stand up. So if you bring the stand up, one thing I like to avoid is when using a stand, I like to avoid using the top riser because it is a lot thinner and not as strong as the next riser. And you could see here, you could get some bending. Look at the flex in that. That's not going to handle the load really well. So I like to bring that back down. And then I like to go with the second riser or the third riser, making it nice and strong and a lot more secure. And here you can see there's a lot less bending. Now, when it's balanced, you'll see this is nice and straight. Whenever the load is too much on one side, you'll start to get some bending. So if you see it bending, you are not balanced. So the next step is getting this ratchet strap into place. So I'm going to hook in over here, make sure we're nice and hooked in. And then I'm going to come down here and secure it to the base of the stand. So I want to make sure that it's going to go into a position that's not going to shift on me or move on me. I like looping it through versus just hooking it, because if you just hook it, it can knock itself loose. So there we go. Nice and secure there. Now, a lot of people will make the mistake. They'll over tighten this and they'll be like, I gotta get it tight first and then crank on it. The problem is when you do that, if you think about it, if I just loop this over my finger once, it wants to come loose. If I loop it over my finger multiple times, it doesn't want to come loose. So you want to make sure it loops multiple times. So give it a little slack. Now it's looping multiple times over that connection point. And now we're gonna look at this, and you'll see once you start getting tight, you're gonna start pulling the boom a little. There we go. So we're nice and tight there, nice and secure. So we're all set and ready to go, and this is nice and secure, and we could always tighten it up a little bit more, making it nice and safe. So if we were to knock this loose and pull down on this, it's not going anywhere. And this is a junior boom. It has a junior pin, which goes into a junior receiver. This is actually a combo stand, and I went with a bigger combo stand. Why? Because it could handle more weight. With this being a smooth surface here, I'd like to add something to prevent the bags from sliding off. So I take a Mayfer clamp and I attach it to the end of the boom right here. I made a small upgrade to this boom by drilling out this hole so I could add my ratchet strap hook straight in. You can already see the advantages of going with a junior boom. You can extend a lot further out than the baby boom. You could also handle a lot more weight. We have 3 20-pound shop bags here, giving us 60 pounds of counterweight. You can see we're all the way extended over here. Even though this light looks small, it is heavy the further out you go. And you also have to consider the weight of the boom itself is a lot more than that smaller baby boom. We have a bigger stand to compensate as well. We have a triple riser stand, and then we have 3 shop bags at 20 pounds each holding it down here, and then the ratchet strap for safety. We're clamped on here so these bags don't slide off as well, so it's a really good setup. Remember to always follow the manufacturer's recommended payload on your boom and on your stands. The further you go up, the less weight you can have. The further you go out, the less weight you can have. So always consider that and be safe and do things at your own risk. It is your decision and your final choice, so play it safe. This is a Menace arm setup. You can see it is a lot larger, and it could go even bigger than it is. Why is that? Because you build it out to what you need. So on this end here, we have the component that connects your light to the actual speed rail, which you see here. In the middle here, we have the ear that connects to your lollipop. This is a lollipop going into your combo stand. And then on this end here, you connect over here another piece of speed rail so you could add your counterweight. You have a hook that goes down for your ratchet strap here, and then this ratchet strap here is designed to do something. Now you remember on that baby boom we had a little bit of bending. This will take the bend right out. You just crank on it and it acts just like you've seen bridges, and look at that straightening out. It's actually starting to bow upward. You see that curve going up because it is helping bring this over here. It's similar to bridges when you have bridges that go like that and it holds the other ends up, which is really nice. You can go a lot bigger with this setup, and you could actually save weight because this is aluminum compared to the other stands, which are steel. This is a Mini Max. It is a boom and a stand combined. It looks a little different than a normal stand. I'll show you why. It's a huge advantage because you could put it up against a wall. That makes it real simple for those tight places where you need to boom out, but you don't want a big stand with big legs that don't give you the ability to clear the frame. So let me show you how it works. It's pretty straightforward. Goes up like this, and you could already see nothing is sticking out on the other end. What you do is you counter the weight on the stand itself. So I'm gonna put 2 bags down below real quick. There you go. From what Matthews recommends, whatever the weight is on this end, you wanna put 3 times the weight on the base. So this extends out, and it has a very similar style to the baby boom. It looks similar to a regular stand when it extends this way because it has the risers that are going horizontal, and you have your baby pin on the end. But what makes this special is how you clear a wall, but you could also go very high to a ceiling, or you could go sky high like this, or you could keep rising it up, and that's how you make it go higher. You go end to end like this. So it gets really high, it gets up to 8 feet. And if you see, it goes up, it could tuck into a corner, and then your light can hang over. That simple. C-stand, baby boom, junior boom, Menace arm, Mini Max. There's a ton of booms out there. Did I miss one of your favorites? Let me know down in the comments below. There's not a one size fits all solution when it comes to booming on set, but one thing that does fit all is safety. Keep it safe, do the right thing, and be very cautious because lights or anything overhead can be dangerous. Thank you so much to each and every one of you that's already subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, now is the time. Do it. Hit that button. Thank you so much to each and every one of you. I appreciate you all. And as always, YouTube says, click on all this stuff right here or else.